What's going on, everybody? Got another video this week. Today we're going to talk about the different foods that I feed all my cichlids that I have. I'm going to get right into it. We're going to start out with the Hikari floating gold pellets. I use these more for my South Americans than they're the only ones that get these pellets, just because I do get the large pellets, and they're about the only fish that are big enough to actually get the entire pellet in their mouth and actually chew it up and eat it. The Hikari cichlid staple is one that I'm just starting to try out. I tried feeding it to the South Americans once. They ate it all, but I had to mix in some of the sinking gold to go with it. But they did eat it, but they did not go after that one first. So I'm gonna keep trying it and see if they'll actually finish the bag or anything. But that's where I'm at with the cichlid staple. Again, we'll keep trying it. The other one I have is the Hikari sinking gold. These ones are medium pellet. I use these for the 90-gallon African tank. I get the medium ones just because they're small enough to where any of the fish in the tank can get one in their mouth. But they're big enough that I don't need to use a lot of them to feed the entire tank. I don't have, fish that are taking 3 or 4 of them at a time and leaving some of the other fish to not have any. So it does take them a couple of minutes to eat them all. But like I said, that this way I can ensure that all of the smaller ones are getting some food as well. And it seems to be working great for them. The other one I have is the algae wafers. The only fish that I bought these for is the common pleco that I have in with the South Americans. I have noticed, though, while feeding him the algae wafers, normally the red pike and the red devils will eat them too. So a lot of times I end up throwing 5 or 6 in there before the pleco will actually get one. But it's not like they're floating at the bottom or sinking to the bottom of the tank and staying there, because like I said, the other fish are eating them as well, which is fine because they all need a varying diet anyway. Next we got the fluval bug bites. I have been using these for the 90-gallon in the office that houses my 4 electric blue acara and my 1 gold nugget pleco. All 5 of the fish in there seem to eat the bug bites. They all seem to like it, so I've been sticking with it, and I'll mix in a couple other things here and there. I'll show you one of them here in just a couple minutes. Another fish food that I feed. I haven't found it anywhere else lately, so I might have to see if I can find it online once this one runs out. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. Made by Alive. It's called Fusion Flakes, the spirulina and spinach. I use these in the 90-gallon African tank, the South American tank. I've also fed it to the yellow labs. Pretty much just use it to give the fish more of a variety in the diet. I don't feed it that often, but I do feed it enough or I'd say once every couple of weeks is probably all I feed it, just to make sure that they're getting a little bit of variety in the diet. Underneath the counter here that you're sitting on, I've got a couple other things to show you. One thing I'm sure everybody feeds, the omega-1 frozen bloodworms. Put a few cubes in each tank, let them go after them. Every fish that I've ever fed them to likes them, so it's one that I've always got some of them around. The other one is the omega-1 frozen cichlid blend, or frozen cichlid formula, however they want to call it. But I feed that. The only ones I've fed that to so far is the Africans in the 90-gallon. I'm thinking about changing it because whenever I feed those to them, it makes a disaster of the tank, and it takes my sump system I'd say at least a good 2 to 2.5 hours to finish cleaning it all out. Just because once it does thaw out, it spreads throughout the entire tank, and they're tiny little, I want to say it's like baby brine shrimp is one of the things that's in there that's frozen. And they just go everywhere. So that's one reason why I'm probably not going to be feeding them much to the Africans in that tank anymore. And being that the yellow labs are a lot smaller, I've been thinking about feeding them to those guys to kind of use up what I have left and see if they like them, and see if it'll help them grow any bit or a little bit faster. But that's about all I have on hand right now that I feed. Pretty much all I've had on hand for a while is these ones. Like I said, I do try and differentiate them a little bit and change up their diet every once in a while. But that's all I've got. Stay tuned next week for another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out, and we'll see you guys next week.